Hey guys, biracial Tiffany here. I tried to make a short little video and it turned into a long little video, so here's the other part of it again. I'm splicing together things, but I wanted to say I completely forgot to start the other video like this. CNN, the rest of the series, I was under the impression that like it was going to be 2 nights a week every week for 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm like, last night, like, okay, Black in America. It's over? Not so much. Now I'm not so happy about it. Because I feel like the first part was like for non-blacks to sort of get a sneak peek or, some backstory on what we're really going to show you. Yeah. A little disappointing. Another thought I had was that in the other video I said I wasn't white. I said I don't know what the white kids were feeling when we talked about slavery in class because I'm not white. And that seems pretty contradictory to what I say most of the time, but I think when it comes to slavery, I will never see myself as anything but black. There's no separation from that there. And then it led me to another thought that it's like I can turn off my white glasses, like the white eyes I see things through, but I cannot turn off the blackness. So whatever that means, that's just food for thought, I guess. But yeah, that's it. So now there's just going to be pieces of other video thrown in here, hopefully in a coherent way. Hey, okay, so I made this video like days ago and I just hadn't posted it yet, and I think I keep hesitating because I'm gonna talk about Halle Berry in a minute in a way that's like really weird, and I keep thinking, why did I even say that? But it's because there's a blogger, Sandra, that Acting Drama forwarded me some links to, and she's talking. I'm going to explain it in a second. But I didn't say that what I'm going to say in response is really just sort of like, if her theory is true, then, there's a possibility that my theory is true. It's just a theory. Totally hypothetically speaking, I don't know. And it just sounds kind of crazy to me as I've thought about it, but I'm going to post it anyway. And I just wanted to say that I got called a cracker in the park by a crazy man the other day. Maybe I'll talk about that more later. I wasn't offended. I kind of thought it was exciting. Not exciting, but it was interesting, that's for sure. That was a first for me. Thanks. Okay, one more thing. Acting Drama, you asked me to comment on that. Vloggers, her weird racist, in my opinion, comments about Halle Berry and Kid Rock and all this stuff that just coming out of nowhere. I don't know. Anyway, but she was like, Halle Berry must be so disappointed because she thought she was going to have a white baby and now the baby is darker than her, and that's why she picked Aubrey so she could have a white child, and because she hates being black. What? How do you know? How do you know? All I have to say about that is I think Halle Berry had some bad experiences that have been publicized, so I hope that I'm not like just making assumptions here, but it sounded like some pretty bad relationships with black men. And it makes me think that perhaps in her experience growing up, those are the kind of black men that she saw and that she knew, and so when she attracted a black man, that's what she expected and that's what came to her, and it's not because they're black and because every black man is like that, but because that was the black male perhaps that she was familiar with. That's what she drew to her, and she, found a relationship with someone who is not black, and perhaps she didn't have all that stuff weighing her down, or, as she was trying to attract, consciously or unconsciously, and this is all speculation, a new partner. The way that a good one could come to her because of her own experience was someone who was not black. And I think it makes a lot of sense that it was not someone Hispanic or Asian, but it's someone who's white, because Halle Berry's white. And I know that's really weird to hear. You know, it's weird for me. It's hard for me to feel like I even have the thought and the inclination to stand up and say, I'm white. But I am. And so I wonder, like, does Jennifer Beals have a hard time standing up and saying, I'm black, even though she doesn't look it? And I just think it's amazing that people jump to the conclusion that because people don't know that Jennifer Beals is black, that she must be running away from it. I know Jennifer Beals is black. I think she's talked about it a lot lately, and like I said, on the L Word, made sure her character was biracial. Ossie Davis is her father on the show, was her father on the show. Pam Grier's her sister. This last season, they're making a character in a movie within the show that was based on her, and the actress that they chose was white. And when she meets this actress, it's like one of my favorite parts of the whole series ever. She says something to the effect, and maybe it's a direct quote, because I really like this part and I watched it a couple times, that she was just freaking flabbergasted that they chose someone so white, and what could she possibly know about my life? And, you know, that, like, screws with your mind a little bit when you see Jennifer Beals saying something like that. But being black is great, so no matter how you look, I'd assume you'd want to claim that. And being white is great. No matter how I look, I'm going to claim that because it's me. So this clearly has turned into 2 vlogs. One day brevity will be one of my strong suits, but I'm still working on that one. So, oh man, here we go again. What I wanted to say, along with the Halle Berry, like, if she was to think to attract a black man, that she might think that she would draw a bad one. It's so weird to say this. Kind of, I liken that to me going to the hair salon and having negative experiences with black women. And I know I've addressed the fact that I probably, you know, you get what you expect, you attract what comes to you, and I readily admit that, but I have to say I know myself. You know, whether you want to believe me or not, people, I know myself, and I know that I seek to have positive interactions with everyone. And so I think, yes, I did. I attracted the experience of coming across haters in the salon. I don't think that those people were, like, really open to me, and then I walked in and I had some attitude, and that's the experience I had. I think somehow the universe guided me to make an appointment on a day that people like that would be there, because that's the kind of experience I was attracting, and I think there's a difference. And that's not to say that I've never had a bad day or been off in my attitude at all, but I just know that that's not my MO ever at all, and I, you know, am confident in that because I know myself. So yay me. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it.